ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to tonight's Omni Edition Sports Cougar basketball presentation. It's a cold January Friday night outside, but the action promises to be hot and heavy inside as the starting lineups are announced. For first, the visiting Dearborn Fordson Tractors coming in from Ford Road. I'm Phil Henry, going to bring you tonight's action here in the Western Wayne Athletic Conference Red Division basketball tilt between Fordson and their 4-3 record, 2-1 in the conference, and they're going to play against our Garden City Cougars, who come in here with a 4-2 record, 1-1 in the conference. Tonight's action promises to be a very close tilt as Garden City, talking to Ron Pummel, coach down there, they were beaten last Tuesday night by the Dearborn Crestwood, #1 team in the league, and they've just spent the last 2 days getting back to fundamentals. So with the starting lineup for your Garden City Cougars, junior guard Joe Pummel starting at #1 guard position. Number 24 coming in, getting a round of applause. His running mate is going to be Travis Kidd tonight. Travis getting through the big round of applause by the Cougar Crazies are in the force. Julia Sanders playing another guard position. Brian Widner, three-point extraordinaire, getting a big high five from Joe Verveil, and then the big man in the middle, Brad King. So tonight's action is getting ready to tip off. Garden City coming in here with a 4-2 record. Fordson, of course, 4-3 overall, 2-1. The importance of this game in the conference. Crestwood right now is undefeated in the conference, and whoever wins this game is going to be playing a major role as the Cougar Crazies are in action right there. They're getting ready. It's going to be a loud, boisterous evening. You just wrapped up the JV action in the JVs were won by Fordson, as we see Coach Pummel and his son down there, Ron Pummel Sr. and Jr., and Joe Pummel out there starting. So it's the Pummel family here on a Friday night. Tonight's game. And there's the coach for Crestwood, Osama Abdelhausen. Abdelhausen in his second year coach, Ron Pummel in his first year coach. Both of them here, we're getting ready for the opening tip-off. It's going to be Brad King squaring off against Musa Harb. Musa Harb, one of the top lines. Harb wins the tip. Back to the Fordson. Mohammed Zar bringing it in. First quarter of action. Garden City in the white against the Fordson Tractors in the yellow. Tractors won the opening tip, working it down low. Harb on the left hand, off the ball. Coming down with the rebound is Travis Kidd, hustling up court, quickly to King, outside to Pummel, over to Julia Sanders. Sanders setting things up, King looking for action in the center. Right now the 2-3 zone of Fordson keeping Garden City out. Pummel, left-hander off the rim, off the iron, rebound dragged down by number 37, Michael Hazim. Fordson on the attack. 7 minutes here in the first quarter. I'm Phil Henry, bringing you tonight's action. Three-pointer from the corner, brought down by Travis Kidd. Travis Kidd hustling it up, trying to catch the Tractors. Lost the ball temporarily, back to Pummel. Travis Kidd looking for an opening on the inside, works it over to Sanders. Sanders drives, met at the baseline. Dragged that foot, and it's going to be called for traveling. Jim Briggs says so. Jim Briggs, one of the officials tonight, along with Anthony Terry and Abasi Sanders, calling this game. Cougar basketball, Omni Edition Sports, bringing it for Garden City TV. I'm Phil Henry. It's going to be a hot action of night here as driving in is Harb. The ball is a kind rim for Musa Harb as he gets the first 2 points of the night. 2-0 Fordson. Part of what Coach Pummel wanted worked on after the big loss against Crestwood on Tuesday night was more fundamentals, making that extra pass, keeping the game simple. Sanders from outside for a three. Grabbed down by Fordson on the boards. content with a half-court offense is Fordson. Garden City working the 2-3 zone. Nice pick by Sanders. Got into the passing lane, and he's going to bring it back for the Cougars. Over to Travis Kidd. Kidd can't find any action on the inside. Hummel over to Travis Kidd. The 2-2-1 zone right now. Dropping back. Big shot by Kidd off the iron. Rebound controlled by the Fordson Tractors. Give and go action to the outside. Fires up a three-pointer off the rim. Rebound to Garden City. Joe Pummel bringing it down. Julius Sanders quickly over the timeline. Garden City working their offense. Looking for that extra pass to find the open man. Have yet to solve the defense of the Tractors. 0-0 on the board. Quick move by Travis Kidd. He gets inside. Ball is off. Rebounded by Fordson. Musahar brings it down. Two half-court teams content right here. There's a drive to the basket. Rebound off. Pulled down. Little backcourt action right there. Number 10, Brian Widmer, finally getting his hands on the ball. Traveling. Jim Griggs says so. 0-0. Fordson and the Cougars with 4 minutes and 31 seconds remaining here in the first quarter of action. Tractors working inside. Harb on the left-hand slants. Banks it off and in for the first two of the game. Mohamed Musa Harb. Left-handed slants over to Travis Kidd. Travis Kidd working, cut off at the baseline. Garden City unable to penetrate the lane defense. There's Brad King in low. He's a left-hander, just short. Pulled down by Fordson. Michael Hazine. Musa Harb with the drive. Back out. There's a three-pointer shielded off the iron. Number 10, Widmer with the rebound. Quickly over the timeline. Sanders slows it down. Waiting for his teammates. Big fire by Travis Kidd, and it's off the iron. Passed onto the lane, lays it in. Does Mohamed Zar. 4-0 Fordson, as they took advantage of the ball coming off the iron and went into a fast break mode. Now they're putting some pressure on Fordson. Fordson's putting pressure on the Cougars. Cougars looking for the open man. Widmer loses the ball, and it is going to be hustled back in bounds. Travis Kidd gets it, and he lays it in for an easy two off the hustle play. Travis Kidd did a great job, did not give up on that one, and the Fordson player thought he was going to get it back in bounds. Travis Kidd positioned himself nicely. One ball on the floor, up and in, used the glass. 4-2 with the first timeout. We're with 2:58 left in the first period of action. Right now, both teams trying to put their will on the other team. We had in the Garden City in that first game in the JV game. It was pretty much a tie score at halftime, and then the Fordson team came on in the second half. This one right here, they're still like a heavyweight fight match. They're trying to feel each other out. Inbounds after the big play. Bringing it up. Mashera over to Harb. Harb, the left-hander. Jamal Sabah into the game. Cougar defense keeping Fordson at bay. Ball up there. Widmer with the rebound. Julius Sanders quickly over the timeline. Looking to set up the Cougar offense, trying to give and go to Widmer. Brad King saves it. Back to Kidd. Kidd to King, and out. Widmer again drags that plant foot, and he's caught for traveling. That's 3 turnovers on the traveling calls. Jim Griggs sitting right there at the half-court line, and he sees that every time. 2:16 to go. 4-2, an unusually low score here in the first quarter of action. Fordson 2-1 in the conference, and that's going to be a foul. Abbas Audi picks up a foul, and that's the first foul of the game, number 5 on the offensive end, as he set a block on the Garden City Cougar, and the official was right on top of it. This game is just getting settled in right now. Both of these teams just waiting to see what's going to develop. Points have been hard. There's a big fire from Travis Kidd, and it's easily picked up on the rebound and coming the other way at Fordson. Garden City's defense been very stout, and there's a ball taken off in left hand rebound. Number 1 worked his way. Jamal Sabah does a nice job in there. It's going to be a foul after the score, making it 6-2. And that foul goes on Sabah. Jamal Sabah, when he going for the rebound, used his elbows down there. Joe Verville checking in for the Cougars. Also Zach Mazatics. Cougars are trying to get a little bit taller. Ron Pummel tells me that before the game, the Cougars really need to hustle, pass the ball, look for that open man, try to get that great shot. They don't possess a lot of tall, athletic kids, but they have a lot of heart on this team. Everybody plays, everybody gets a great job. That's indicative of the 4-2 record that Garden City has this year. 1-1 in the Western Wayne Athletic Conference, Red Division. And the importance of this game tonight, Fordson's 2-1, Garden City 1-1. Whoever wins this one right here is going to move up into the 3rd place behind Crestwood and I believe Thurston. Stolen at the timeline. Play is back at the middle of the court. Back to Garden City. Joe Verville hustles it over the timeline. He's on the move. He finds a wide open Pummel for 2. He missed it off the board, and slowing it down now where the Fordson is. Garden City wanted to get in the run just a bit. Number 1, Sabah in there, banks it off. 8-2 now. Fordson here with 1 minute to go in the first quarter. This is what Garden City expected, some tough defense meeting them right at the timeline. There's going to be a timeout called by Ron Pummel. I talked to Ron before the game, and he expected this out of Fordson, is that they would meet them right at the timeline and stiffen up their defense at that point, and then it was going to be incumbent upon his guys to get it past there and create 2-on-3 breaks and 2-on-1 breaks and do their best at trying to get some easy baskets. But right now, Fordson's put the defensive pressure at the half court, and Ron Pummel's going to talk to his guys and tell them this is what we played for, practiced all week, so you know what to do. Out on the court, number 5, Brad King. Number 3, Joe Verville. Number 15, Zach Mazatics. Julius Sanders. And Joseph Pummel. Sanders in the backcourt being harassed. Gets it over the timeline now. Cougars setting up their offense. Banked and in, nice shot. 3-pointer, 8-5. Garden City now starting to warm up. Final seconds ticking off of this first quarter of action. Unusually low-scoring game, 8-5 Fordson. Mashra coming in, looking. Fordson playing for that last shot of the quarter. There's some action in there. It looks like they're going to call it on number 13. Merwan Gadil. Merwan Gadil was throwing his elbows around underneath there right in front of Jim Griggs. Garden City now with a chance with 14 seconds to play for the last shot. Verville lets it fly from 3 and nails it. Tie game, and the Cougars are up on their feet, and the Crazies are too. Big shot, off there as the horn sounds, ending that first period of action, and it's 8-8 between Fordson and Garden City. As the action started out a little bit slow, these two teams trying to get to know one another. Then it started picking up at the end. A couple substitutions and some key defensive changes, and a nice key timeout by Ron Pummel also. And this game is tied up heading into the second quarter. Rebounds even at the end of the first quarter. And we're going to see the standings coming up here as we see Crestwood. They looked mighty impressive here in this gym last Tuesday night. They're undefeated in the league. Thurston 2-1, Clarenceville 2-1. Of course, Fordson and Garden City, and the team that's not on there bringing up the rear, Redford Union. They're 0-4 in the league and 0-8 overall. But the key matchup is right there in the center between Garden City and Fordson, and that's what's playing out tonight, because you see this is a very key game for Garden City. There's some of the visiting Fordson team. Great camera work by our Dan York-led crew. Everybody does a fantastic job. Garden City working their offense. Verville just hit that big three-pointer. He's feeling it. Out to Mazatix. Sanders off the rim, rebound in the for Fordson, pushing the ball up the court, slowing it down now, and he's going to get caught for a travel. Turnovers hurt the Cougars in that first quarter of action. 8-8, we're in the second quarter. I'm Phil Henry bringing you Omni Edition Sports Cougar basketball. Overville over to Sanders. Sanders working it in. Ball was tipped away. Fordson on the move. Driving to the lane with the left-hander. It falls, and he's going to be called. There's going to be a foul called on the play right there as Mohammed Zar quickly had it down. We're going to have a little conference here, and they're going to sort this one out. Fast break opportunity for Zar, the left-hander. He took it all the way. He was hotly contested in there by the Garden City defender. And the foul is going to be called on Pummel. So Joe, they're going to give credit to Pummel for breaking that play up, and that the foul occurred before the shooting took place. And so it's going to be a two-shot foul. So instead of a basket and one to make three, this is just going to be a two-shot foul, and he misses the first one, does Zar, Mohammed Zar. That was one of those times when the foul actually paid off very handsomely. Nice defensive play by Pummel. 8-8. And he nails the second one. That makes it 9-8. Fordson now going to full court pressure. Sanders now looking to pass. Throws it away. He got trapped, did Julius Sanders down at the end line, looking for his man, tried to lead him and just threw it right over his head. Turnover, back to Fordson. Mohammed Zar bringing the ball up. Nice steal by Sanders. He's bringing it on, looking for a running mate. Instead, he takes it all the way to the hoop, switches to the left-hand. Ball is bounced around in there as it did not fall for him. And Dearborn Fordson comes down with a rebound, and they're on the muscle. Spinning move, broke up by Brad King. Joel Verville bringing it over. Couple of fast break opportunities both ways. Neither one netted any points. 9-8. Fordson in the lead. Brad King, the big guy, passes out to Verveil. Three-pointer off the iron. Rebound snuck in and beautiful by Mazadix. Zach Mazadix did a terrific job. He got great positioning in there, and that gives the Cougars their first lead of the game. They battle back from an 8-2 deficit now, and they lead this one 10-9 here in the second quarter. Garden City's defense been very stout. Mohamed Zar tees one up and sinks a big three-pointer. Musa Harb, the left-hander, sinks a big three-pointer, and that puts Dearborn up 12-10. Garden City breaks the pressure into Brad King. Out to Mazadix. Off Verveil. Nice job of rebounding by Verveil. Brad King putting their offense. He puts it on the floor. The left-hander turns and shoots. Ties this one up 12-12. Nice job by Brad King. The big man down there in the middle got the ball, went to his left, showed his left side first, and then, right side first, then back to his left hand and sunk a nice little in the paint two-pointer. Mohamed Zar working out. Hassan Dogman. Amin Jesus. In the lane, off and down to Sanders. Coming in from behind was Fordson, but Sanders remains control. Sanders at the top of the key, looking to set up the offense for Garden City. Works it in the lane, tries to get a bounce pass in there, and the ball is bounced off, and it looks like it's going to be Garden City's ball. Tried to work it into Pummel. Garden City still not able to really solve the defense to get any easy baskets on the inside. 12-12 here in the second quarter. Out, Mazadix in, and nice play by Zach Mazadix as he nails a nice finger roll two. Found his way into the lane and picked his way apart and laid in a nice two. 14-12 Garden City. Fordson, the Tractors, gonna shoot from the outside. Big three-point shot. Rebound fought off. Brought in, and there's going to be a foul as Mohamed Zar picked off the rebound, went back up with the shot, which is one thing you should always do when you get that rebound. Go back up with it, and this time right here, Garden City, number 15, Mazadix. Mazadix got it all over him. That'll be the first foul on Zach. Putting Mohamed Zar to the line, and he sinks the first one, 14-13. Cougar crazies getting on their feet to create some distraction. Cheerleaders in the end. Good look at Mohamed Zar, and he sinks the second one to tie this game. Full court pressure pays off for Fordson, and in goes Sabah, and he nails an easy one off this pick and steal. They're in full court press mode again. This one's Travis Kidd as he fights through, and there's going to be a foul. Mohamed Zar picks up the foul on the tight defense. 3-on-1 as Travis Kidd was dribbling it over the timeline. This time he sets up Verveil with the offense. Back to Kidd. Up to Brad King. Zach Mazadix. Verveil, nice job. Boyd getting picked off. Hummel brings it up short. Excuse me, that was Travis Kidd. Dribbled and brought it up short. Fordson's going to be called for a travel, as Amin Hayduz is in that corner. Put the ball on the floor, but actually walked with it before he put the ball on the floor. So it's going to be a turnover with 3 minutes to go here in the second period of action. Joe Verveil having a little problem. This one's picked off. It's going to be an easy two-pointer as Mohamed Zahar lays it in. Now 18-14 Fordson. Their press starting to give Garden City a little bit of problem. Joe Verveil into tall trees, and they're going to call a foul. That's Jonas Williams picking up the foul. 5 first half fouls on Fordson. 2 minutes 42 seconds to go. Takes 7 to get into the bonus. Zadek's nice pass over to Pummel. Pummel puts it in off the glass. 18-16. Fordson up on Garden City by 2. Mohamed Zahar working offense over to Sabah. Spin move, right-hander, rebound off to Garden City. Nice job by Pummel to get position on that one. A little bit of harassment on Sanders. He's done a great job controlling it. This is number 10, Widmer, and he gets a three-pointer. Brian Widmer, number 10 for 3, and that puts Garden City up 19-18. Much different Cougar team here than what we saw on Tuesday night against Crestwood. Ron Pummel worked him hard in practice. And there's a big three. Mohamed Zahar. Mohamed Zahar hits a big three. This is a back and forth game here in the second quarter of action. Wide open, takes the shot off. Tipped so it wasn't over and back. Sanders looking for the open man, and a travel call. Zach Mazadik. There's a Coach Pummel. He's assisted by his son, Ron Jr. Coach Pummel in his first year of action has the Cougars in a 4-2 position. Fordson on your offense. This leaves over. Big three-pointer by Mohamed Zahar. Mohamed Zahar is really pouring on the points. That's 10 here, and they're going to call a charge as Zahar had great position right there and did a fabulous job of acting. Julius Sanders made contact with him, and Zahar went flying halfway across the court right in front of the official, Anthony Terry, and Anthony Terry called the charging foul. Julius Sanders picks up his first foul. Garden City's going to call timeout and talk about it. 54 seconds to go. 24-19. Fordson in the lead. There's your Garden City huddle. There's our cheerleaders tonight, keeping everybody involved into this game. They do a terrific job. They got a lot of great formations. Our fans that braved out this cold night here in January to come on out here. It's $5, folks. Come on and see your guys. There we go. There's some crazies. There's the Fordson contingent. Nice job, nice camera work right there, showing you setting the scene right here. Very boisterous, loud crowd tonight. This is a key spot in this game, 24-19. Mohamed Zahar, number 2, working on Travis Trigg. And that's going to be called a foul. Merwan Goodale. There's a nice pass, and in for the layup is Mazadix. Mazadix does a terrific job as he was wanting to go left-handed, but he brought it underneath of the basket and put it off the glass with his right hand, sinking in, making this a 24-21, 30 seconds ago, first half. Nice job by Sanders over there, harassing the ball carrier, taking seconds off this clock. And there's going to be just a little bit too much by Julius. Julius did a very nice job hounding the ball carrier on that. 10 seconds to go, and that's going to be the second foul on Julius. Nice job by Julius, though, hounding the ball carriers. Ball handlers, I should say. A little football metaphor there. It feels like a rough game out there between these two combatants. Red division foes. Mohamed Zar's been hot in this first half, working on 11 points. He fires a big three-pointer in and out into the hands of Mazadix. He's going to bring down the rebound, and that's where it's going to stay as this first half comes to a close, and it's going to be Fordson going into the locker room with a 24-21 lead over your Garden City Cougars. I'm Phil Henry. Stay close because this second half promises to be a big half of action here in the Garden City Cougar Gymnasium. We'll be right back after these few moments.
Incorporate Marketing is the official apparel provider of Omnidition Sports and GCTV. Located on Middle Belt Road just across from Garden City High School, Incorporate carries an incredible variety of Garden City Cougar apparel and swag. They also feature Garden City East and West gear and are your source for silk screening and embroidery. Owned by third-generation Garden City resident Jim Neve, Incorporate can help you design the perfect look for your company or event. Visit their website at incorporategraphics.com.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
KFC in Garden City is a sponsor of Omnidition Sports and GCTV, and one of the providers of food services for the crew and volunteers for tonight's game. Garden City's KFC is located on Ford and Harrison and is owned by Garden City residents Dan and Paul Bogowski. Featuring all of the Colonel's great menu items, including original recipe, extra crispy, and grilled chicken, crispy strips, sandwiches, chicken pot pie, those famous sides, and more. So stop by Garden City's KFC on the corner of Ford and Harrison and tell them that you heard about them on Omnidition Sports. Lona's Pizza in Dearborn Heights is a sponsor of Omnidition Sports and GCTV, and one of the providers of food services for the crew and volunteers for tonight's game. Located on Beach Daly and Ford Road, Lona's is owned by Garden City's own Bob Oliverio and the Oliverio family. With the best pizza in Metro Detroit, Lona's delivers to all of Garden City. Round, square, or pan pizza, Lona's is the place. They also carry great subs, salads, and wings. Give them a call at 313-274-0100. That's 313-274-0100. Lona's Pizza.
Welcome back, sports fans. Second half action getting ready to tip off here between your Garden City Cougars and the Dearborn Fordson Tractors. I'm Phil Henry, bringing you tonight's action here on a Friday night in this big tilt. Both teams are in divisional rivals in the red division of the Western Wayne Athletic Association Conference. Garden City is a 1-1 record and Fordson 2-1. Some of the first half stats done very well by my daughters Shyla and Sierra Henry. They have the rebounds even at 9 apiece. And for the Fordson team, Jamal Sabah had 4 points. Musa Harb checks in with 7. Jonas Williams had 2, and the big man for them was Mohamed Zar, as he had 11 points. Very balanced scoring on the Garden City side, as Joe Verveil had 6, Brad King with 2, Brian Widner with 3, and Zach Mazadix had 6, Travis Kidd with 2, and Joe Pummel with 2. So taking off the bringing the ball in here to start the second half of action in this 24-21 game held by Fordson is going to be Fordson, and their starter Amin Jesus is going to be finding Mohamed Zar. Mohamed Zar really heated up. The score was 8-8 at the end of the first quarter, and Mohamed Zar really went to work in that second quarter, and he ended up closing out the half with 11 points. And he's going to bring it in against Garden City. Garden City's defense has been very stout, going with the same 5 starters: Brad King, Brian Widmer, Julius Sanders, Travis Kidd, and Joe Pummel. In, and a foul off of the shot by number 32, Michael Hazim. Neither team has anybody with any foul trouble to worry about, as that one is going to be picked up by Travis Kidd's going to pick up his first foul. Julius Sanders has 2. Hazim fires and makes the first one. 25-21 Fordson here in the third period action. Garden City Gymnasium, Garden City TV, Omni Edition Sports. Julius Sanders with the rebound, pushing it up. Nice bounce pass, kicked off by Hazim. He was looking for the open Travis Kidd coming in. This is what Ron Pummel had worked on all week after that Crestwood game. Garden City shows up here a totally different team in this game. Inbound play set up to Sanders. Sanders passing out to Widmer. Nice ball action. Widmer with a big 3, and he just misses it off the iron. Michael Hazim with the rebound. Both teams seem to be content on working their half-court offense. Sliding in, nice block by Brad King. Off in the glass, battle for the board. Brian Widmer's going to pick it off, and down goes Hassim Dogman. It's been a rough game between these two division rivals, as you might imagine. Big three-pointer off and into the hands of Musa Harb, and he pushes it up. Passes over. Passes off the glass. Amin Jesus. Nice play. Harb broke down the Garden City defense, and then he had Jesus trailing the play. One bounce off the glass and into the hoop. Big shot, a three-pointer misses. Once again, Harb pushing the ball up. This time to Zar. Zar goes around Sanders, and there's 2 quick layup points, and that pushes the lead to 8 points, and Garden City's going to call a timeout. Nice job by Ron Pummel. Ron Pummel didn't like what he saw there, is getting into the start of this second half. We're just 1 minute and 38 seconds into it, 39 seconds into it, and They're expanding their lead now, 29-21. Shout out some fans texting away there, maybe checking out their Twitter action during this little break. That's one thing you don't see with the Cougar Crazies. They're up on their feet virtually from the opening tip-off. You take a little break at halftime. There's a nice little Omni Edition TV. Excellent camera work. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring our camera crew to you. Jason Merrill, Evan Chapman, Spencer Fraunfelter. They just do a terrific job on camera, really bringing things in. There we go. That's right, wave it up, big smile. So we'd like to see everybody here has a great time. Dan York and company putting it together. We'll get to everybody else. Starting out with the cameramen. Cougar Crazies getting in with their Cougar Power chant. Kevin Brown-Bako into the game. He's been conspicuously absent, leading scorer on this team, averaging 11 points and didn't play the entire first half. Brad King puts the ball on the floor. Might have got away with one. Joe Verveal off of the three-pointer, and that one's going to be controlled by Harb. Pushing it up the court, going for the layup and off the glass and off the rim. Ball's silent as Hassan Dogman. He's going to be shooting two. That's going to be called on Julius Sanders, and Sanders now with 3 fouls. He'll be the first player with foul trouble. There's a good look at Dogman. Pushed it up the court, sinks the first one, 30-21. Fordson, this was 8-8 at the end of the first period of action. And Phil Henry bringing you tonight's game on a blustery Friday night as he sinks number 2. And Brown-Bako looking for somebody as Fordson puts on half-court pressure. Bako gets it quickly to Sanders, and Sanders had a hard time controlling that one. It was to the out-of-bounds side, and Sanders just might have looked a little bit more to see where his feet were. In the meantime, he lost control of it, so when Fordson goes with their pressure offense, it paid off here in the third quarter of action. Bako applying some pressure, and he forces a turnover, and here comes Sanders. Brown-Bako getting into the action and fires in, and that one's going to be a 2-pointer as he was standing on the line. Oh, they're going to give him 3. Brown-Bako entering this game early here in the second half after not playing the first half at all, and nails a nice 3, 31-24. Bako applying the pressure on the ball handler. Big three-pointer counter by Amin Haydous. Haydous came off of a screen over on the right-hand side, was wide open. It was a deep three-pointer, and he nailed it. 10-point lead for Fordson. Crowd just a little quiet. Not sure if here comes the cheerleaders. Ron Pummel doing a great job. He's called 2 timeouts here early in this second half of action, making sure that this game doesn't get away from him. Big game in the standings. There's one of our other cameramen. These guys do a terrific job. Audio. Tonight's audio. Zach King. They call him Furby. I was paid to say that. And on computer graphics, Adam Fromm as Mohamed Musa Zar. And there's a big firing three-point off the rim. Sanders picks it up, a little harassment from behind. And that's going to get Mohamed Zard. It's going to be called for the foul, harassing Sanders. Stuck his hand in there. Second foul on Mohamed Zar. Kevin Brown-Bako going to bring it in, passes it out to Joe Pummel. Pummel has 2 points on the night. Brown-Bako hit the big 3. He's trapped, looking for help. Out, wide open man. The extra pass, and King picks it off. He backs his way in. and he got swatted. The big guy really backed his way in and put the left-hander up there, but on his way up, he got smacked on the arm. Second foul on Jamil Zabah. 10-point lead for Fordson. That's going to put King at the line. These are all big shots right here on the season. Garden City's averaging 53% from the foul line. They shoot 31% from the three-point line, and they're shooting 44% overall. And there we go. Brad King sinks one. 1 out of 2 was King. Garden City looking to apply a little pressure themselves. Brown Bako trying to get to the ball handler. Jesus. Joe Verville meets him. Mohamed Zar. Big night for Zar. He's sitting on 14 points in this one. Garden City's defense. And that's going to be a foul on Verville as Joe Verville tried a handful of Amin Jesus as he went past him. Musa Harb inbounds. Big high glasser, and that's going to go off. Garden City, Fordson ball. 3 minutes, 47 seconds to go. Third quarter action. I'm Phil Henry bringing it to you. Don't go anywhere. This is a big game for both of these teams, and it promises to go right down to the wire. Michael Hazim, he finds the big man, fires from outside, rebound off. Works in and out, and Brown Bako comes down with the rebound, and he's quickly pushing it up tempo. Brought out to the outside, and Pummel lets it go off him, and gathering it in and making a nice lay-in is Mohamed Zar. Terrific play right there as the action got just a little bit faster than what I think Garden City wants to do right now. Ball's going to go out of bounds. 36-25, Fordson with the lead. It's more of our crew that's bringing you this great broadcast tonight. Sean Anthony and Cole Avis working the PAs. And then, of course, last but not least, we wouldn't be here without our fearless director, Christian Gibby Gibbon. Man that makes it all happen. Unflappable in the most dire of times. Nice play by Verville. He got it to King, back out to Pummel. There's a big shot by Mazatix. No, Verville pushes it out and corralled in there by Jonas Williams. Rebound goes to Fordson. They have the ball. Jamal Sabah up to Michael Hazim. Garden City now is going to be looking for turnovers right now. 2 minutes, 26 seconds to go. They trail by 11. Williams puts it on the court. He tries to get his own rebound, goes back up with it again. Fight for the rebound in there. Williams again with another one, bounces it out. Hazim passes it out. There's the big pull down by Garden City. Zach Mazatix. Garden City in search of a bucket right now. And there's a steal right now by Hazim. Brad King cuts in front of him just to give him a little just distraction, but it doesn't work as Hazim lays it in. That was a big turnaround right there on the turnover. Defense created the turnover, and that was telegraphed across the court. And flying out of bounds, number 20, Hef Mashara. Ball's going to go over to Garden City. That's going to be Pummel putting it in. 137. This game's getting away from Garden City just a little bit here. You just settle it in, look for a nice, easy bucket. Worked over to King. Brown Bako getting some action. Wide open out there with Pummel. Fires off the rim. Brad King gets it. He's going back up with it. Perfect thing to do, Brad. Come down with that rebound, and the big man goes back up, and he's going to get fouled. He's going to get a chance to shoot two. Marwan Gadil picks up his third foul. Brad King going to the line. He was 1 out of 2 the last time he was up there. Left-hander. These are all key right here. Very important shots. So again, we're 53% from the line, so this is a big one for Brad. 38-25, Fordson in the lead. Here's a good look at Brad. Heavy concentration, left-hander. And that's going to be called for over the top. Foul on Zach Mazadix. The second one on Zach tonight. Fourth foul here in the second half. So we'll just get the ball out. Just an extra one on Zach. Fordson working the ball in, screen. Out to Mashra. There's a big play. He's got to move. Goes in, does Sabah, and he changes hands. Went in with his left hand, switch it to the right hand, and buried a little two-pointer. 15-point lead for Fordson. In and out to Brown Bako, and he's going to shoot two. Kevin Brown Bako coming in this quarter with a lot of action. That's on Abdallah Jafal. That'd be the second foul on Jafal. It's going to put Bako at the line to shoot two. Kevin Brown Bako. Nice leg action if you're watching at home. That's the way you want to shoot those free throws. Put your whole body into them. Real nice form. Watched on by Coach Pummel. These are all key at this point. Misses the second one. Rebound off to Gadil. Right now, Hef Mashra out to Sabah. Jonas Williams. 24 seconds and counting here in the third period of action. Fordson looks like they're content to wait for the last shot. Garden City's doing a great job pushing them back closer to the timeline. Brown Bako off. Williams does it off the glass. Big one. And that one's just going to fall harmless right there as the third period ends with a nice big period coming out from halftime. They had a 24-21 lead, so they outscored Garden City. Did Fordson 16-5. 16-5 at the end of the third quarter now makes it 40 for the Tractors and 26 for the Garden City Cougars. We'll take a look and see if we got some upcoming games coming your way here in Garden City Arena. And you can see that Redford Union will be coming up next week. Excuse me, Thurston comes up on the 21st. And then you've got Redford Union, Clarenceville, Dearborn, and of course the big coming home. Omni Edition TV is going to be there against Annapolis. Probably Friday night on the 31st. It's going to be a big game. And then of course we got Ann Arbor, Crestwood, Fordson, Thurston, and plays right on out from there. Then the playoffs will start in March. March Madness for our high school teams. Fordson, on the other hand, they've got the big game with Crestwood to come up next week, and then Thurston, Annapolis, Warren Cousino, Union, Clarenceville, then Garden City. Again, we can look forward to that game. That'll be on Fordson turf. on the 11th. And of course, they end up with Star International on the 27th, as does Garden City right around the same time. And they're gonna, then that'll be the big kickoff to March Madness. Fourth quarter action, Garden City with the ball. Rebounds pretty much being controlled now by Dearborn. It's pretty much even at halftime. There's a nice move in. Right now it's just time to settle down. You're down 14 points and you don't need that. And that's going to be a big dive for the ball. Comes up off the court. And the official takes a long look at number 5 there, Abdul Jafal. He's going to take a seat after that. Big collision. So it's going to go down as an over and back, and that will be Fordson's ball. And right now, every position is going to be very important to the Cougars, as they're going to try and get back into this when they're down 14. Need a couple of defensive stops and some makes on the offensive end, and they'll be right back in it. This crowd will be right back into it, and a lot of things can happen at this level. There's going to be that's what they needed right there, a turnover, as dragging his plant foot as Hassan Dogman turns it over to Garden City. 7:16 left to go in this game, fourth quarter action. Fordson had a big third quarter, and they lead this one 40-26. Julius Sanders over to Brown Bako. Brad King, the big man. Bako draws a crowd. Working it into King, back out, in and out, looking for that extra pass, extra wide open man. There's Bako, and he looks for the Zaddix, and off the rim, no rebound. As Dearborn's starting to control the boards now, they have a 20-14 lead with rebounds. Jonas Williams back off, big three-pointer by Mohamed Zar. Mohamed Zar now with 18 points on the night. He has been the killer for Garden City. Brown Bako. That's going to be the first foul on Pummel here in the second half. 6:15 to go. 17-point lead for Fordson. Big one by Zar, and that one's off, and Pummel pulls it down. Julius Sanders going to work the ball up, and Brown Bako takes it, and he's going to the rim with it, and he is going to be fouled. There's a look at Kevin Brown Bako. This is the first foul on Hef Mashra. 3 in, 3 out for the Tractors. Left-hander Pummel off. And another rebound by Fordson as they're starting to control the boards. Out. Off again, this time Brown Bako, and he's pushing the ball up court, takes it himself, off. A little too much effort, but he gets a rebound. The left-hander just can't get it to fall. 2 in-close shots for Kevin Brown Bako. Three-pointer off, rebound, Zaddix. Still time to get back in this one. Julius Sanders picks it up after swatted away. Brown Bako working in. Just needs someone to hit a shot right here, and that's a ball stolen. Coming the other way, and he's going to go all the way with it to the hoop. Hassan Dogman Looked like he was going to lose control at one time. And that's going to be the 4th foul on Julius Sanders, as Sanders battled him all the way down. And Dogman did just a terrific job maintaining control without walking with the ball, laid it up off the glass and in, and sinks that, and that's a 20-point lead now for Fordson. Pummel with it, gets control, looks over here to Sanders. Ball is pushed off and out of bounds. It goes off of Hassan Dogman. Kevin Brown-Bako going to inbounds. There's Julius in the picture. As Ernie Harwell would say, the Cougars are in need of some instant offense. Sanders going to the lane, bounces off. Fight for the rebound. Sanders comes out with it. Brown-Bako in, looking for King on the outside. He puts it on the floor, drives in, puts the left-hander up, off. Rebound by Dogman. Hassan Dogman has had a terrific second half. 2 points on the scoring for him, but he's been very instrumental in batting away a lot of balls, playing some very tight defense. Zard, Harb goes to the lane with a runner, 2-pointer. 48-26, and the ball swatted away by Czar. Staying on the offense is Fordson, as their hustle's really starting to pay off. And there's Czar pulling up into the lane just before the lane and burying a 2-pointer. 50-26. Kevin Brown-Bako, and he's off the heel. Battle for the rebound in there, comes out on his horse, and up and in is Harb. Harb hard to the court. You see that was Michael Hazine with the rebound, and he goes down, and it's going to be Cougar ball. At times, Fordson's really pushed the tempo in this second half, and that's been not to Garden City's liking, and they've gotten some very easy points off some steals. Their defense has really come up big as Brown-Bako drives, and he's going to get the foul called against him. It's going to be on number Jamal Sabah. Both teams 6 fouls here in the second half, 50-26. Fordson just quietly and calmly just put on a big lead, and they've done it just like that. Big defense, getting in the middle of some of the lazier passes that Garden City has thrown. Time to go back to the practice gym for Coach Pummel and his boys. They were in this game until the third quarter, and then it's been just a steady stream of defensive swataways, turnovers, and some big shots by Fordson, and they've pulled out to a big 50-26 lead. Now working the ball around the horn is Fordson. It's Devin Williams in now, harassing Mohamed Czar. Czar content to dribble it. And he brings it in, and he gets called for a double dribble right in front of the official. And that's going to be the turnover right there. But with 2 minutes, 34 seconds left, there's not going to be enough for Garden City. But one thing about Pummel's team is they're going to play hard right to the very end. Brown-Bako. Devin Williams pulls it up, and he missed everything on that one. And of course, the air ball chant by the Fordson contingent. the victorious junior JV team over there, as they won 74-49 over the Garden City varsity JVs. And now it looks like the varsity themselves are going to take home a double victory tonight, as Mohammed Zar getting harassed by Travis Kidd. Evan Williams putting the pressure on there. There's Joe Verveil. Amin Haydus. And that's the kind of effort right there that Coach Pummel wants. You cannot look at the scoreboard at a time like this. You just have to play hard from the time that the opening tip happens until the very last whistle and horn of this game. And that's going to put them in the bonus situation. That's the 7th foul on the Cougars. Joel Verveil. And he's going to be called for the foul, doing some harassing defense out there. And that's going to put Musa Harb on the line. Off the iron, Harb with his own rebound. The left-hander back in for 2. As Harb hits his 9th points of the game. It's on the floor. Scrum for the ball comes up to Williams. Porter, and he's going to be called for a travel. Aaron Porter in the game. Everybody getting a chance, an opportunity to play. Everyone showing Coach Pummel what they can do. It's a long season. Cougars are going to end up being 4-3. They're going to go to 1-2 in the conference. Fordson, on the other hand, 3-1 in the conference, and they will be a 5-3 team at the end of this one. 24 banks it off, and then there, Belil Berry. Belil Berry. Here's Aaron Porter, and he is harassed into the corner right there, but it's going to go for a foul. It's going to put Porter at the line to shoot 2 with 1:12 to go. These are all big points. These are all key. It's a long season. Then you have March Madness that comes about, and everything that you do just plays for later on down, Coach Pummel will tell you. So Aaron Porter seeing some key minutes here in the late in this game. You see what he can do from the free throw line. It's a junior center coming in at about 6'3". Garden City has yet to really field a very tall team. They've always been scrappy, always been hard to play for the other team. The opposing team's always giving you a hard time. And there's the miss off right there, and the ball is swatted out of bounds, and the officials are going to say that it's going to go to Fordson. Hef Mashra coming in. Joe Verveil, number 3, is going to put some pressure on him. Jamal Sabah harassed in there by Travis Kidd. Break him down, and it goes off of his leg. Abbas Audi coming in, dribbled off his leg. Devin Williams going to get an opportunity for the Cougars to put it in play. Travis Tragg getting over the timeline. Hesitation move. Travis looking for open man, gets it over to Williams. Big 3-pointer off the front part of the rim. Throws it out to Sabah. Sabah brings it out. 40 seconds to go. Fires up, misses. Devin Williams gets it, pushes the ball up the court. Last 30 seconds of play. 3-point attempt off. This one's going to go to Saban. He's going to go all the way. He misses it, mishandles. Heard those footsteps. And the official's going to say that he stepped out of bounds right in front of him. Travis Tragg, that's Travis Kidd on the hustle and just put the ball on the out of bounds line. 17 seconds to go. I want to thank this terrific crew. I mentioned them all by name. the camera guys, Dan York, his crew, as Joe Verville hits a big one. Tip back up and in. The big old hand slap by Aaron Porter, and the final buzzer sounds on this 54-29 victory for Fordson. Jason Merrow, Evan Chapman, Spencer Fraunfelter, Zach King, Adam Fromm, Sean Anthony, Cole Avis, and of course Christian Gibbon wrapping up one first-class telecast. I'm Phil Henry. Going to be wrapping up with some stats here. It looks like towards the end of the game right there, the Fordson team really dominated on the boards. They were led in offense by Mohamed Zar with 20 points. Musa Harb checked in with 9 points as they had a very balanced attack. And then, of course, Garden City, their leading scorer, Verville, and Zach Mazatix had 6 points on the evening. Kidd, Pummel all scored a couple. King had 3. Widmer had 3. A balanced attack for the Cougars, but not enough tonight as Fordson walks away with this one. I'm Phil Henry saying very much thank you for enjoying this broadcast with me tonight, and good evening, and we will see you again on the 31st with the coming home Friday night against Annapolis. It's going to be a big night. Be here and watch it on TV later. Good night from Omni Edition Sports, and Cougar basketball is once again the final score will be your Tractors from Fordson 54 and our Cougars, the good guys, 29.